Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to part 5 of these video series. On our last video, we left off basically talking about the ceremony, the ayahuasca ceremony, in which I have arrived and I witnessed the other participants sitting around in their sleeping bags. Everybody was dressed in white as instructed, and everyone were given shots. Everyone was given shots, going around giving shots after introducing ourselves. Um, okay, so one thing I'm forgetting to mention a lot of things. I apologize. I know it can get very repetitive and can ruin the flow of the story, but this is really important. So when Amy was telling me about her experiences with ayahuasca months prior to actually doing the ceremony myself, she kept mentioning of how she felt like it was. I did mention that she like started believing in destiny and predestination and all that, and she kept mentioning how she has this very strong feeling that that I was destined to do ayahuasca. That she, that her telling me about her experience, the fact that the shaman is coming to LA, that I'm having this opportunity to do ayahuasca was all meant to be, and that it was all predestined, and it was just that I'm destined to do ayahuasca. And so yeah, I thought she was fucking crazy. I was like, okay, cool, bro. Let's fucking get on with this. So fast forward back to the actual day of the ceremony, or the first day. So shaman was going around after the pre-brief, I guess you would call it, giving around. Everybody's coming up one by one. We're going around the circle, and everyone was given these shots. So paper Dixie cup, and shaman was pouring the ayahuasca. Looked like she was pouring it from like this 1 liter bottle of paint. That's what it looked like. It looked kind of sketch, to be honest. Like, it didn't come from like she wasn't like pouring it out of like like a vase or anything like that. It was just a straight up, like, looked like an old paint bottle. Um, but anyways, um, she was providing these ayahuasca shots for everyone, and as I mentioned in the last video, she asked all the new members to let her know that it's their first time, and that if it is their first time, that she will up the dosage, which was fucking weird to me because normally, any type of psychedelic or just any type of substance or drug in general, uh, as a first timer, a lower dose is typically recommended. But I guess not in the case of ayahuasca. I'm guessing that they really want you to get the quote unquote breakthrough, and to do that, you really have to take a good amount. So sure enough, we're going around, and it was finally my turn. I was like the second to last person um, receiving my shot of ayahuasca, and yeah, I fucking drank that shit. It was pretty difficult to drink it. It tasted like fucking, I don't know how to describe it. It was pretty nasty, man. It's just not. It's like the opposite of pleasant. It's so Jesus. Like I couldn't even take the shot. Like I took it, but I had to kind of like take half of it and then reset myself and then take the second half. But I was able to get, almost every last drop of it. I did get every last drop of it. Tasted like fucking shit, man. I want to say like it was like V8 juice, but like a V8 tomato juice, but way more like a fucking rotten version of that times 1,000. That's like the best way I could describe it right now. Um, yeah, it tasted like dirt, like as if I was drinking dirt, like straight up dirt. But yeah, I drank it, and yeah, it was nasty, but didn't feel anything right away. I went back to my seat or my area, my sleeping bag, and they recommended like you should really be comfortable, meditate. Uh, Me, I was never a huge meditator going into this. Not spiritual at all, not into meditation. Um, so, of course, me being me at the time, I'd be just like scanning the environment, looking around, looking at other people's reactions, looking at people taking their shots, looking at people, like doing their thing. Because I've always been like a very like focused on the outer world kind of guy. Although there was a lot of stuff going upstairs in my head, but I was one of those people who just like I was a huge people watcher ever since I was a kid, and yeah, like whenever things like these happen, like these, well, any social gathering or whatever, or even in public, I always have the habit of like observing people's behaviors and stuff like that. It always like I just have to observe them. And so of course like everybody's like in their zone, in their thing. They're all getting settled. They're all like closing their eyes. Like a lot of them are just meditating. Um, I caught like a couple other people like looking around too, but for the most part, everyone was just kind of like in their own world, I guess. Whereas like I'm still just like looking around, looking at other people, uh, and stuff like that, looking at Amy. Um, and yeah, it wasn't hitting me at all. Didn't start throwing up or anything. I was just like, fuck, man. I guess I'm definitely gonna take that second shot. Um, so yeah, it was like a good, I want to say, 20 minutes. Yeah, like a good 15 solid 20 minutes uh, that it took for the first round of shots to get, distributed to everyone. Um, and then the shaman finally announced. Oh yeah, she did a little bit of chanting, like a little bit of like they call it the Ikaro, which is like the chant um, from the like a Native American chant or something like that, which they always do apparently for these kind of ceremonies. Anyway, she did a little bit of that. I think she did that for like 5-10 minutes, and then she announced like, "Oh, if you want to take another shot, if you need another shot, just go ahead. Just come up one by one. Again, we're gonna do our second round." And so I was like, "All right, guess I'm gonna take another fucking nasty ass shot of ayahuasca again, because apparently the first shot didn't do shit." So went around. I think almost everyone. I could be wrong, but almost everyone did take a second shot. Um, Maybe like a couple people didn't. I think a couple people just were cool with one shots. Oh, and by the way, the volunteers, uh, they didn't take a full shot, but I think they took like half a shot. Um, and I thought that was kind of weird already because like, shouldn't these helpers be sober? Even though it's like half a shot, I don't know what how like half a shot. That's still like 4 hours of tripping, right? I don't know. Like it was just kind of weird to me that the helpers were also given shots, not like full shots, but like half a shot. Um, but apparently, that's like a normal thing. Um, but yeah, second shots were going around, and finally came to my turn. The second shot was even tougher than the first shot. It was even nastier because I already knew like what to expect the taste wise. So the second one, like I could already feel finally the whole like gagging thing coming up, the gag reflex coming up. Luckily, I didn't throw up right in front of the shaman as I was drinking it. But as soon as I went back to my spot, uh, I grabbed the bucket and I was getting ready to like throw up. Um, and sure enough, like a minute later, I just started throwing up, felt nauseous, felt just fucking sick to my stomach, and started throwing up. I started making like these kind of noises, and I see other people doing the same. They're all making these noises. They're all vomiting and shit. I think like several people were uh, going in and out of the bathrooms. I think one person was already like tripping. This one guy, this older guy, he was like fucking. I think he was like at least got to be like 50 something years old. Um, yeah, he was. He needed some assistance going to the bathroom. Uh, yeah, I think I was like the youngest one there. I think I was the youngest participant there. I was 20. I was 20. Yeah, I was 25 at the time. Um, and I think everybody else was definitely older than I was. Uh, like the oldest person there was probably that dude. The older guy, he was like probably like 50, anywhere from 50 to 60 years old. Um, but anyways, what the fuck? I lost track. Yeah, so everybody was just like throwing up and shit. Um, and I'm just like, okay, well, cool. So there's the throw up that everybody was talking about. And yeah, I decided to after a good few purges, I decided to lay down and kind of relax. And nothing hit me yet. The trip hasn't started yet. So I just laid down, closed my eyes, uh, and I think by this time it was around. I think it was like 10 p.m. or something like that, like a little before 10 p.m. Um, and I was like, oh shit, well I'm just gonna fucking fall asleep probably. Like I didn't really care, to be honest. Yeah, I paid 500, but like I sometimes like I'm a pretty reasonable guy, and I know like sometimes psychedelics don't work for everyone. Um, I've had instances where like edibles like or shrooms didn't like I remember like hardly getting anything out of it. Like I didn't even trip at all sometimes when I was in college. So I wouldn't be mad if I didn't like experience anything like any trips during this ayahuasca thing. So I was like, huh, you know what? Even if I fall asleep and didn't experience shit, like whatever. Um, I didn't really care. Hopefully, like the next day we'll make up for it or something, right? But laid down, had my eyes closed, and I decided to just like meditate, just because like I had nothing else better to do. And then, that's when like shit started fucking getting real. um, like the next thing I think the next thing I remember um was that my my breathing, I was very conscious of my breathing. Um so I was meditating and I was focused on my breath, but it seemed like I was breathing in my mind at the time. I felt like I was breathing a little too loud, and I was kind of scared that I was disturbing, the other participants. So yeah, that was going through my mind, and of course, when you're on psychedelics, you kind of um, you kind of focus on you, like you're very conscientious of certain things that you normally wouldn't be if you were sober. So yeah, I was very conscientious of like how loud I was breathing and how I could possibly be disturbing other people. So I was just trying to quiet down. It was fucking weird already. It was like the trip definitely like started for sure at that time. And then my left foot, keep in mind I was still laying down, and then my left foot kept. I do this normally. I do this while sober, like when I'm like laying down or whatever. But I sometimes like move my left foot, kind of like I pace it like left and right sometimes. Um, I don't know. It's just something I do. But then like I was super conscientious of that during the ceremony. So first my breath, and then like my left foot, and then the breathing just got more and more fucking obnoxious. Like meaning like the breathing just was just overwhelming. Like I was breathing so fucking like loud and deep and hard that I'm like, okay, like I really need to like calm the fuck down because I'm probably disturbing everyone around me. Um, but I couldn't. Like at that point, I realized, fuck, dude. I think I lost control over my my fucking body and like everything. And when I realized like, oh shit, like this shit's starting, and I'm like I think I'm possessed. Like I have no control over my body right now. Like my left foot is just moving. Um, that's when like I started fucking yelling like super loud. Um, and as I was yelling, uh, I think at one point I fucking had like a, I don't know if I had an outer body experience or it was like a dream, but um, it felt like I was I don't know if any of you guys watched Doctor Strange. Is that the movie? Like Doctor Strange with Cumberbatch. Um, it's a Marvel movie, and I don't know if you guys remember that scene where he was the first time he had that outer body experience, and he was like traveling through hyperspace like really fast. That's I experienced that. Like I was going through the fucking like universe. Like I was like going through the universe in hyperspeed or light speed or whatever. It was crazy, man. And it was just like, whoa, what the fuck? And it was so crazy. And while that was happening, I was like yelling, and I was like conscientious of that too. Uh, I was fucking yelling out of control, like I guess I was like going into panic mode or something because it was just so overwhelming. Like the shit I was seeing, it was just so overwhelming. I started yelling, and I think the helpers, uh, like we're all focused on me now. They're trying to like calm me down, and like they were holding me down because I think at one point I was like kicking my feet, like I was like picking my whole leg up and slamming it on the ground, like super hard, but like repeatedly, like pretty much hurting my foot. And I kept like I was like pretty close to the wall. I kept socking the wall with my fist. And yeah, I remember Ryan and Amy and another helper, this Asian guy. They tried to calm me down. They kept like, I remember some of the stuff they were saying, like, oh yeah, calm down, you gotta stay quiet. Yo Eugene, you gotta stay quiet. But of course, like me, I'm still panicking. I'm going through this hyperspace shit, and I start having all these like quote unquote realizations that that nothing mattered. It's so random. Like it was so like at the time, like I don't know what the fuck was going on. Donald Trump kept popping up. Like he kept popping up in my mind. What else? Like several other people that I know personally kept popping up in my life. I don't think it'd be much use for you guys to know, for me to mention names, but like people I've seen at the gym, like random people, like people that I don't really even like. Maybe subconsciously I pay attention to them a lot, but consciously I don't think I do. But maybe because I subconsciously think about them a lot, they popped up. But like people at the gym, like that I'm not even that close with, would pop up in my mind. And I had these like I had this realization that nothing mattered, that like my life is bullshit, like this thing I called life is bullshit. And I kept yelling that, like nothing matters. Fuck, I kept saying like nothing matters. I kept yelling that shit, like nothing matters. What else did I say? Like I think Amy told me that I like, you know, after the ceremony, that I kept yelling out Donald Trump, money doesn't matter, nothing matters, like life doesn't matter, it's all bullshit. I kept yelling that out, and then and the helpers, they kept trying to calm me down, and they even had to at one point they were trying to drag me to a isolated room, like the dressing room, because I was being so fucking loud. And I think I also heard like another guy like yelling as well, but I wasn't sure because I was like so fucked up and busy with my own shit. But yeah, I remember the helpers like Amy and Ryan, they were like trying to drag me into this into this room, but I didn't know where they were dragging me to. But they did drag me into this room, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was just like, I remember throwing my pillow at one of the helpers, and I think I remember kicking Amy in the face, and I think I smacked her ass at one point. But yeah, I was just fucking, there's just so much, like, it was like a combination of panic, like extreme panic, terror, and anger, like all at the same time. And it was just like all my emotions, they were just coming out, but like times, I was experiencing it times like infinity, you know. It was just so intense, and I was like, holy fuck. At that point, it was just, I legit thought I went to hell. I even, like, the whole thought of I remember, like, even during the trip, I had that memory of Amy telling me that this was all destined, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like, Amy fucked me over. Like, I think she's like a demon or something, and she led me into hell. Like, she fucking, like, that was going through my mind too. So I thought like Amy, the shaman, Ryan, I thought all these guys were in it to fucking basically quote unquote bring me to my quote unquote final destination, to basically go to hell. And that realization made me even more terrorized and scared shitless. I started yelling, but at the same time I didn't have control over my body, so I felt fucking helpless. And I legit thought like when the helpers were trying to like help me out, I thought they were demons, like straight up. Like I thought I was looking at demons because they look very diabolical. I remember they looked like, I know what they were saying. I remember what they were saying. They were saying like, Eugene, you have to calm down. You have to quiet down. Like shh, quiet down. But then it felt like they were repeating it, like as if they were fucking with me. Like it was like diabolical, if that makes sense. I don't know if any of you guys have done psychedelics like shrooms and stuff, but you get caught up. Like a bad trip is basically when you caught up in this loop. That's essentially what I was experiencing, a version of that, but just way fucking more intense, obviously. Anyways, footage is already fucking out for this video, so I'll continue the story in my next video. So I'll see you guys in part 6 of this video series. Thanks for listening.